Come on in, everybody. Good morning. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Day. This is just a little candy table I set up for the kids. Not a whole lot of stuff. They're big now, so anyway, they don't have to have like Easter baskets. So anyway, I just got them a bag of candy, some Rice Krispie treats, and I had these eggs from when they were little kids. So anyway, I just thought, let me fix these babies a little candy table. So that's gonna be for Man, Narik, Kylie, let me see. Kylie got the little monkey because she's 1 year old. That's for Tania, and that's for Lauren, and that's for everybody else. Tony and all of them. The peeps back there is for Karan. That's Karan is Nari's daddy. I've been buying peeps for Karan as a tradition. He's 23 for 21 years. I always make sure I get him one pack of peeps because he loves peeps still. So anyway, I'm getting ready to get in here in the kitchen and start Sunday dinner because, of course, the flavor train's gonna pull in. Look at Laura down there. Can y'all see her? She's down there solo. Anyway, we're not gonna make it to church this one. She don't feel well. The other kids are on their way. They have to come from a little town about 45 minutes away. So I'm getting ready to get on the stove and get Sunday dinner started. So the menu today is going to be baked beef ribs, lemon pepper chicken, and barbecue chicken, macaroni and cheese, of course, kale, lima beans, and cornbread. A real simple dinner. A lot of it, but just real simple. And I made some banana nut bread. We're going to have that. So I'm getting ready to get over here on the stove. As you can see, everything is bare looking. I'm getting set up. I got to do my rest of my sous chef stuff. And I'll be ready to get over here on the stove here shortly. It's early morning, y'all. And I also got to go outside. The pollen is everywhere. When I get ready to go outside, I'm going to show y'all so y'all know what we dealing with. Well, why don't I show y'all the pollen right now? Because when I go outside, I got to get my hose. I was going to let Tony do it, but he has such bad allergies. I don't want him to come over here and have a flare up. Let me see if y'all can see. Last night, I tried to go ahead and put my spring stuff out. Got a few ferns. So it's the beginning. So I want y'all to just see my car. Can y'all see the pollen on my car? Can you see it? My car is black, but look at it. So I'm going to go ahead and hose it off before everybody gets here so it'll have time to dry off. But meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and get my dinner in the oven. So, haven't got the front fixed up just like I wanted yet, but at least I got my ferns out. It's still kind of cool, too. I hope I didn't put these ferns out too soon. Hope y'all are doing something that you love to do this morning. I am getting ready to get in the kitchen. So, whew, it's kind of chilly out there. Okay, so I'm going to get them back here into the kitchen. Got to take the trash out, too. Okay, y'all. Y'all hang on. I'm going to get myself hooked back up here. I'm going to get me a cup of hot tea and a cup of oatmeal here shortly. So, hang on, y'all. Okay, y'all, here we go. I've already done my ribs last night. I have to let them marinate overnight. So these are my beef ribs. Of course, I pulled the skin off the back of them. I put them in there to marinate in some, and this is like, I use like the equivalent of a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of soul food seasoning, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt. I didn't do any black pepper. Just mix all that together and then rub those ribs down. Then I mixed up a tablespoon of sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, any kind, and about a 1/4 cup of water. And I poured them over these ribs and let them set overnight. So I've got like a couple pans of beef ribs that we're going to have. Okay, next up, this is going to be barbecue chicken. I still got to put my barbecue sauce on there. I did basically the same seasoning. Just went ahead and doused that chicken down real good. And I'm going to put barbecue sauce on it. I'm going to cover it, put it back in the oven, and let it rip for about a good hour and a half. And it's going to be nice and yummy. And over here, of course, this is my lemon pepper chicken pan. So Of course, the same ingredients except that I put that dry bouillon cube mix on those. So about a tablespoon of that on there, a tablespoon of lemon pepper seasoning, and some extra garlic, about a tablespoon of garlic. Put it on there, let it marinate real good, and as it cooks, it'll make juice, and I'll keep basting it and make sure that lemon flavor goes all the way through. So that's the meat. Lemon pepper chicken. That's going to be some barbecue chicken. These are thighs and drumsticks, by the way. And, of course, the beef ribs, y'all, all in the oven. I was going to do them on the grill, but, honey, the pollen said no. So I got to go outside before the kids get here and hose down that pollen, because the pollen is really going to be really, really, really high through Wednesday. So we can't do a lot outside today. So like I said, we're just going to do it in the oven. And of course, there's my kale greens back there. Got me 2 big bags of those. There's the mac and cheese. Got to get my cheese and stuff out the fridge. And I forgot to tell y'all, lima beans. And I'm going to do these lima beans. I had a package of soup bones. I'm going to boil those soup bones up, season them up real good, and I'm going to drop those lima beans over in there. So just a little bit of a twist on the lima beans today. And I think that's the menu. Lima beans, the kale, the mac and cheese, ribs, and chicken. Not an elaborate menu today, because we're just going to kick back, relax, and enjoy a nice, good old soul food dinner. I wanted a turkey, but then I sort of changed my mind, so we'll do turkey another time later. And I still got some of that good old banana bread back there. Got another whole one back there. So if it survives the kids when they come in a few minutes, we'll have some on the flavor train today. So I'm going to go ahead and get this food started. What I'm going to do is go ahead and run these ribs. I'm going to still have to put the barbecue sauce on them, and I'm going to run them through the oven with the lids on for the first hour. Then I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to let that barbecue sauce glaze on there. Same thing with the chicken. I want to leave the covers on for about an hour, and then I'll take it off and then undo it and let everything glaze over. So I'm going to sign off and go ahead and get some other stuff done. And as we progress, I will come back and let you see what else is going on for this Easter Sunday dinner. So hang in there for me. Okay, yo, those ribs are rubbed down, sauced down, and ready to go into the oven. And this is basically what they need to look like going into the oven. You need to have that sauce on them really, really good. And I'm going to cook them for about an hour with this paper, with this foil just laid on top of them. This is your chicken. Get it sauced up real good. You're going to cook it right with the started cooking with that sauce, so that sauce has time to go all the way through that meat. And of course, this is the lemon pepper chicken. I hit it again with just, I'm going to hit it again rather as it cooks and some juices form on it. I'm going to melt some butter and put some more lemon pepper in there, and I'm going to pour it over there. It's going to be what I want to baste it with. So for right now, I'm going to get this chicken and these ribs into the oven. And of course, I'm using Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. I just juiced it up with a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of extra garlic powder, and that's it. It's pretty good. Sweet Baby Ray's is good, y'all. Okay, so here we go. Okay, y'all, got all my meat in the oven, got 4 pans in there, and I'm going to leave them cooking for about an hour and a half, about an hour. And then I'm going to go ahead and baste them and take that foil off of them. So here we go. So we're going to put cook time 1 hour to start. And there it goes, 375 degrees. So here we go, y'all. Sunday dinner is on the stove, because the flavor train will be here in about, let's see, it's like 9 o'clock now. So we got a good long time, but they'll be here, honey. They'll be ready to eat. So they're coming early today, so that means I'm cooking sort of a brunch and Easter dinner. So I think I'm just going to do some sausage and rolls or something like that when they get here early in a few minutes. So let me get back to it, y'all, and I'll be right back. You got some leaves in your mouth? I don't have any leaves. Alright, y'all. I'm back inside the house. I went out, hosed down the pollen, got it off my car, everything like that. The windows, now I'm back on the stove again. So, the meat is almost done. this little beet right here. Remember, I told you I had soup bones, cooking those up for the lima beans. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, so we can expedite and get this show on the road. Lima beans. Let's see. I think these are a pound and 12 ounces. So this is about 3.5 pounds. Oh, you know it. Food line. So I'm going to do 2 bags of lima beans in there. So we can have a big old pot full. So we can eat till we turn green. Okay. I'm going to start them off on high heat. And you see, just enough water to cover them. Of course, you know I've got all the usual suspects for seasoning in there. With those beef bones. Yeah, your brush looked in that closet right there by my bedroom. That was just a little sidebar. That don't go into the beans. So I need to add a little bit more water because we need the water to basically cover the beans. So it's gonna take about, look right downstairs. You know where my bedroom is. Y'all, excuse me 1 second. Let me take care of this business. Okay, I'm back. I had to take care. That was children stuff I had to do. Okay. Anyway. We're going to get these lima beans started out on high, then I'm going to turn them down to medium low. They got to cook about 1.5 hours, so they'll form that good, nice, thick gravy, and they'll be nice and tender. So, let me get some black pepper also. Okay. Let's see. We need about a tablespoon of black pepper in these. We're just going to sprinkle. Okay, that's a tablespoon right there. Okay. So, I'm going to put the lid on these, and I will probably have to come back and put a little more salt, but we're going to let them cook first and see what they taste like after about 1 hour. If they need more salt, I'll add it at that time, because right now what I've got is a couple of tablespoons full of that dry chicken broth mix, and just a little bit of the coarse sea salt, black pepper, and of course, you know, I'm going to put some butter in there after they get real good and done, and then they'll be ready. For right now, let's put the lid on. So we're going to do this for 1 hour, and then I'll check on them. All right, over here in my red pot. Can you see? No, y'all can't see. Yeah, there it is. Red pot. Sorry about that. I'm getting ready to start the macaroni and cheese. So, let's see. I need to make this pan full. Can you see those? Yeah. My camera person didn't show up to work today, so I'm doing it by myself. Okay, so that size pan. I'm gonna need about a pound of elbow macaronis, and of course these are Food Lion. So y'all know how to cook macaroni according to the instructions on the box. I'm gonna boil them up for about 15 minutes. But one of the other things that I do with macaroni, I go ahead and put some salt in the water so that they're kind of seasoned and won't be so bland. So when I get ready to mix them with the cheese sauce, it'll pump that cheese sauce up. So, okay. Now that I poured in there was not quite a pound. Let's see. Oh yeah, I need a lot more because that was only like that. You know, I don't know how come when you cook macaroni, you always cook too much. Well, today is not going to be no exception. So I'm going to pour some more in there. That's probably going to be too much, but we'll deal with it. Always, macaroni, rice, grits, oatmeal. It always looks like you need a little bit more when you get it cooked. It's too much and you have it left over, but that's fine. Okay, because my crew will eat it. Okay. So I've got the lima beans going, the macaroni going, mac and cheese. So I need to use that pot. So I'm going to get that done. And then when I get done with that, I'll do the kale last because it only takes about a good hour to do the kale. So until I do the next phase, I'm going to sign off. And I want y'all just hang in there and sit back and eat an Easter egg or do something real good while I'm gone. Okay, y'all. I've got some scientific information about cooking. I happened to open my oven, and Man, my grandson is here, and he saw convection on there, and he explained to me, explain to the audience, man, what about convection?
That where heat rises and cool air falls down.
Okay, so I have a convection oven, and he noticed that, so I told him, yeah, I know that, but I didn't know it in those scientific terms. So his daddy was greasing his legs and his hair. That's why he was moving around. Okay, we do all kind of stuff over here. So go ahead, man. He had ashen knees and hard hair.
And that what she's baking right now is a chemical change because that the raw meat that she had before and she's baking it in the oven is forming a new substance. So it's chemical change.
Do y'all hear my we call him Einstein? Do y'all hear Antonio Dubin Howell, scientist? Do y'all hear him speaking? So man, thank you so much. He's such a smart little sugar. It's just a little sweetheart. So he always gives us the scientific, the intellectual meaning of things that's going on in life. So thank you so much, darling.
Oh yeah, and also it's also radiation too because heat waves are going. It's like when it's baking it, like the heat waves are going into the meat.
Do y'all hear him? Do y'all hear him? So now, when y'all see his name up in lights and me sitting in the audience waving, y'all know what it is. Okay, baby. You got any more nuggets for us? He probably will later on because I'm going to be cooking throughout the afternoon. So hang in there for me. Okay, ribs are done. Get ready to put the last glaze on them and run them back through the oven. They've been in for an hour and a half. I'm going to flip them over. And here's the chicken. Gonna flip it over, put some more barbecue sauce on it. We're getting this show on the road. And of course the lemon pepper chicken is still in the oven. Cooking. There it is. So, here we go. Okay, y'all. I'm back. It's time to do the mac and cheese. Now I've done this process many times. This is gonna be a cheese sauce that I'm making to make that pan of macaroni and cheese. I've got 3 pounds of cheese in here, and there are 5 cups of, let me see, 48 ounces of milk so far, and I'm putting about almost 2 3/4 pounds of cheese in here. So we've got this milk on really low, letting it melt the cheese down. You have to keep it low. See, it's starting to melt already. Okay, so remember, let's see. You know what? I'm not really. This is this size of pan. It's not the big metal pan. I'm gonna have to get the measurements on this. It's probably 13 by 10. And it's 2 inches deep. Okay, so hold on just a second. The TV is screaming. Okay, I'm back. So this cheese sauce is gonna be enough for a pound of uncooked macaroni noodles. So I just use 1 pound. Boil them up, season them up with a little bit of salt for about 15 minutes. And I got them drained over here off onto the side. And in this pot, of course, like I said, this is 2 3/4 pounds of cheese and 48 ounces of milk. I used that pet evaporated milk and just sort of broke it down. And also I'm going to be adding some butter. I'll go ahead and put the butter in here. Really don't need to add all this butter. So I'm going to do half margarine, half butter, so it won't be so oily. So half a stick of butter, half a stick of margarine. That's what I'm going to add because I have to have my butter. Okay. I'm just going to stir this around in here. And to further season the noodles, I'm going to be putting that dry chicken broth mix in so that we have that flavor going through it. Of course, I got to have want to put black pepper in it. I'm still adding cheese. Just seeing what it's looking like here. Oh, the cheeses that I used was the white extra sharp cheese. I used 1 pound of that. Let me make sure I'm saying pound. Make sure these are not. These are Food Line brand cheeses. Oh, by the way, you know I always use Food Line stuff. I'm sorry. I'm saying 3 pounds. I've got. I'm gonna be using 24 ounces, which is I got 3 8-ounce packages of cheese, and I got 1 Monterey Jack, 1 extra sharp yellow cheddar, and 1 extra sharp New York cheese. What's that? New York cheese? New York cheddar. Okay, so 24 ounces of cheese, 48 ounces of cream, so half and half, and the equivalent of 1 stick of butter. This is to make my cheese sauce. I like a cheese sauce. It always goes better to me with mac and cheese. And of course, I'm going to be putting some flour in here shortly to thicken, to make that cheese sauce. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is just pretty much continue to let this cheese melt into the milk. And then I'll complete my cheese sauce. And of course, like I said, I can go ahead and add, I'm going to be adding my that dry chicken broth, about a tablespoon of that in there. And this is all for extra flavor, y'all know that. It's good. Of course, when all that gets all melted down, I want to taste it. Make sure it's salty enough. Make sure it's got all the seasoning that I want. Of course, I always add black pepper. And remember now, when I cook my noodles, I cook them with a little bit of salt so they won't be so bland. Knock the edge off of those noodles as far as taste. That sauce is almost ready. So I'm going to sign off and I'll be right back. Okay, the cheese is still melting. Remember, when you're doing your cheese and your milk, you have to have the heat on low. You don't want that cheese to stick to the bottom of the pan. You don't want it scorching. You don't want it to curdle on you. You want it to melt evenly. Okay. Just melt it out real evenly. Make sure all that cheese is melted in there. Whew. That's some good looking cheese sauce there. Let's add about a half a teaspoon of sea salt to that. Oh, I was trying to get something out, but you know what there was in there? Because that chicken broth mix has little veggie things in it. So I'm going to go ahead and add some thickening and see where I am with the process here. I used 2 tablespoons of flour. Just made it into a paste, and I'll gradually add it to my cheese sauce until it gets as thick as I want it. Still some cheese to melt in there. You know when it gets thick enough. You don't want it thick, 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 thick. You want it Mm. Cheese sauce is yummy. Okay. What's up, Miss How? You got it. Yes, that's fine. I'm still me. I don't change just because I'm recording. Your outfit looks nice. That was Tanya just coming into church. Obviously, I didn't make it. I got the kids. Lauren didn't feel that great, so I thought, okay, she doesn't feel good. We'll just stay here. So I stayed home with Lauren. And Man and Tania are here, so I got the kids. The other two little ones, Karan has two. Norik's daddy. Karan, he has Norik, and then he has another little 1-year-old baby girl. So they're going to be over later. She's upstairs. Just put our purse over there, Lauren, in the dining room. She'll be back in a minute. Oh, you know what? I got something going on with my nose. It's so sore. I don't know what's going on with my nose. You know how you always, I don't know, you don't realize what things that you do until you start doing them and something goes wrong. Now, I don't realize how many times during the day I pinch my nose together. Why? Don't ask me why I pinch my nose. I just do. But when my nose got sore the other day, I realized that I do that a lot because because I'm used to just doing it without anything happening. And now that my nose is sore, it's like, ah! So, anywho, this cheese sauce is coming together. I'm going to let it come. I want it to come to a boil, so that's the only way you're going to know if it's thick enough or not. So, you have to be very careful still. You can up the heat a little bit, but you got to stand right here over it and continue to stir it so that it does not stick. Okay? Nobody wants any scorched cheese sauce. Okay? Almost there, y'all. It's getting thicker. Thicker by the minute. Thicker, thicker, thicker. I'm going to let that cook. I'm going to go off frame for just a sec. Okay, this cheese sauce is still in the making. I'm like I say, I'm not going to really know how thick it is until I get a small boil going. It's got to boil just a little bit, but we got to watch it because when you're making stuff like this, it cooks obviously from the bottom and it thickens. It'll get real, real thick on the bottom. That's why it's so easy for it to stick. So I have to keep stirring it at the bottom to make sure it does not stick. Now once it sticks, you can't stir it from the bottom because you get all that bottom off of it. It's getting heavier and heavier. I'll tell you another little trick too. You'll know when it's getting thicker because it'll get harder and harder to, not hard, but you can feel the difference in the stirring. When it starts getting, let's say a little bit harder. You feel it start getting a little bit heavy. You can tell. Okay. So I did end up having to do another tablespoon of flour water. And what you do with this, sometimes it's best to start out, just go ahead on and wet down about 4 teaspoons full because flour. I'll waste a little flour. If I have to waste a little flour to get it right, that's no big deal. That way you don't have to make it twice. I had to make mine twice because I'm actually using 4 tablespoons of flour water. I may not have to put it all in. I may ever have to. I don't know. But it's getting more and more difficult to stir. It's getting thicker. See that? It's getting thicker, thicker, thicker. Don't want to get it too thick because when it goes into the oven, of course, obviously, it's still cooking. It's going to get thicker. Okay. I think it's just about ready. It tastes ready. So what I am going to do is I'm going to, so I got all my meat out of the oven. The meat's done, y'all. Yeah, that's in frame. So I can go ahead and turn that cheese sauce off. The cheese sauce is ready. So what I'm going to do first with it, I am going to pour, let's see, can you see me do this? I'm just going to pour this cheese sauce over here into my, I'm just going to pour this cheese sauce over here into the noodles and start stirring it in. And then I'll put the noodles in the pan and I'll start pouring some more sauce right over it. So that way, we'll get them all nice and saucy. Someone's going to pour. This is about half. I'm going to pour about half of that sauce. Got half my sauce in the noodles. Get that pan wiped off with that stove top. I don't want to have to screw up my stove. So I'm just going to go ahead and stir this up really good. Let's get that off the burner. Get it over there like that. Like so. And we can put it right there. And as you can see, I've got the half of the cheese sauce into my noodles. And you know how I told you a while ago, you always seem like you have too many noodles? Well, I do. I did, rather. Okay, stir that up. Whew, that's wonderful. I'm going to taste it a little bit, see if I need to add any sauce, any more salt. I don't think so. That's really yummy. Woo, good. So, I had a few noodles left. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and put, I'm going to do half and half on these noodles. I'm going to put half in now in the pan. Spread it out real good. See how nice and creamy that is? It's full of cheese. And you know, this cheese sauce, you can't really see it that well right now because the cheese sauce is like a real deep beige color. Okay. And then I am going to put the other half, what's that, of my noodles in. Okay. That's the other half of the noodles. Okay. You know what? Those other few noodles that I probably shouldn't have cooked to begin with, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the rest of that cheese sauce. Because I got plenty of sauce. I'm just off camera here, stirred it in real good. And then that's going to make a third layer. I didn't think this pan was going to hold it all, but it will. So. There it goes. So, that extra that I cooked, didn't really have to. The pan is full to the top, y'all. So, we ain't going to worry about that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through the oven for about 30 minutes. Not going to cook it long because I don't want to dry all my sauce up, okay? So, now we got some creamy mac and cheese. I've got some... Let's do some breadcrumbs. Okay. I'm going to set my oven on 375. And we're going to cook them for about 30 minutes. And just to have a little garnish on top there, since I'm not putting cheese on top, I had some of those Italian breadcrumbs. Anything like this, just to garnish the top. Okay. That's ready to go. I thought I had Parmesan cheese. I was going to say save the day. I didn't have enough to even bother with. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this into the oven. And you remember, I don't know if I showed y'all this trick or not, but when your pan is real full, take and tilt that end up, tilt that end up, tilt each end up. So if it tries to bubble up on you, it can't. Okay? So there we go. It's ready for the oven. And you know what, y'all? When I do this and get the cornbread done, this is going to be a done deal. Because guess what? Everything else is ready except for the kale. So I'm going to put this into a 375 degree oven for 30 minutes. Set my timer for 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, we're going to have mac and cheese. That cheese sauce is wonderful. Okay.
Mom,
So,
you need some help? I should have went home and changed.
And I was just saying, all I got to do is cook this kale. Oh, I like them shit. Let me see.
It's got purple and blue in this
Who said you got that? Get off this. Like you fried out there and bump your head. I already told Trump you came out this night. My thoughts, I'm gonna tell you right now. You blow it like a blowfish. Call you.
What happened? What's wrong with that?
He was trying to rinse my coffee. You know how we can't get that power and stuff. So I'm like, no, y'all still got to sit so damn back off, macho.
Yeah.
I said, well, you blow like a blowfish today. I told her, I said, at least you ain't gonna take me. He might well call him an Uber and go to the hospital.
Okay, Lauren. This one picture.
Laura gotta come out her breast. I mean, her face.
Her and I are on the same cycle. She's early.
Yeah, that's why you want to check. Oh boy, I dropped stuff.
I don't want to go back to school.
Huh?
I don't want to go back to school.
You don't want to go back to school?
Nope.
Why?
I don't want to see.
Huh?
I don't want to see none of my teacher. That's my second period teacher.
Why?
She got my nerve.
Okay, y'all, this is the last phase of the food. Everything is on the stove, ready to plate up. The flavor train just pulled in. The natives are restless. We ready to sit down, relax, and enjoy. Oh, remember what I told y'all about that mac and cheese? When it's full, turn the ends of the pan up, and that'll keep it from boiling over into your stove. You won't get grease in the stove. So, we got lima beans, corn muffins. Of course, we got kale. Got expandable cornbread. Got lemon chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue chicken, and some beef ribs. Got some in the oven already heating up. So the gang's all here. We get ready to eat. We get ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy this Easter dinner. Joker ain't said, they got to see my new one over here. Hey, Kylie, poo, poo, poo. That's the newest one. That's Kylie. Hey, Kylie. Hey, Kylie. Hey, Kylie. All right. Okay, so now, and Lisa's over here. Okay, we get ready to sit down, relax, and enjoy this meal, y'all. It's time. It's eating time. Oh, that's Karan. Y'all didn't see him on the fly. And Amika. Amani. That's Amaya. That's Karan. Amani. Amani. Oh, I can remember. That's Perry's daughter's name. Hey, Amani. That's Karan's friend. You know me and names. Lauren. Nari, come over here so you can say hey to the camera. Man, Tania, and Lauren in the den. So we get ready to eat, y'all. Okay? All right. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And until I cook again, I'm just going to say toodaloo.